You may have seen one of our photojournalists out in the field before. They're usually wearing a navy blue polo shirt that has our logo, that big old 5 right here on their chest. But if you take a closer look, you'll also find a logo for our compañeros down the hall at Azteca Valle. In this week's Photographer's Perspective, photojournalist Elijah Noriega shows us what it's like working in 2 languages on both sides of the border.
Last Monday, Santiago and I crossed over to the border to talk to city officials and Haitian migrants who are currently staying in Reynosa. Now, this is the usual gear I would use for stories, but since I want to stay low-key, I'll be using my personal cameras, Sony 6400 and a GoPro. As soon as we crossed over, we went to Plaza de la República, where hundreds of migrants are sleeping in tents with very limited resources, but they make the most of it. Seeing the living conditions and challenges these people face makes me realize how fortunate we are to even have a roof over our heads. Working as a photojournalist, I feel I have a responsibility to share these stories who are in need, especially since they are practically our neighbors. After 3 hours, we got the interviews, stand-ups, and as much B-roll as we could. Then, made our way back to the States. Once we crossed over, our destination is now the closest place with Wi-Fi, McDonald's. Since it was already 1 p.m., we started cooking up the stories as soon as possible because these stories air at 5 p.m. for Azteca and 10 p.m. for Channel 5. As always, it was another successful day working for KRGV. With my photographer's perspective, Elijah Noriega, Channel 5 News, Sunday at 10:30.